take on the Eggheads.
These 5 people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. You might recognise them as they've won some of the country's toughest quiz shows. They are, of course, the Eggheads. Well, taking on our awesome quiz champions today are Camberley Chess Club. The team all play in the Surrey and Berkshire Chess League and between them have won many tournaments. Let's meet them.
Hello, I'm Paul, I'm 57 and I'm an author and speaker.
Hi, I'm Ken. I'm 53 and I'm the managing director of a software company.
Hi, I'm Christine, I'm 53 and I'm a secretary administrator.
Hello, I'm Steve, I'm 45 and I'm a health and safety officer.
Hello, I'm Julien, I'm 47 and I'm an IT consultant.
Well, welcome Camberley Chess Club, where you're very welcome to Eggheads. Now, tell me a bit about playing chess in Camberley.
Very exciting, Dermot. We meet every Tuesday night at the Baptist Church and we are the current reigning Berkshire chess champions.
I see. And do you play as a team or do you play individually?
Well, we're all members of the club or associated with the club. We play in different teams.
Chess player on the Eggheads team, of course, is CJ. Have you ever met him on your travels playing chess?
No, we'd love to. We'd gladly take him on.
Well, no, it's a few years since I've played chess, but I did play a lot of chess in Surrey.
Well, OK, let's play Eggheads then and see your moves on this particular board. Every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So Camberley Chess Club, the Eggheads have won the last 31 games, which means £32,000 says you can't beat the Eggheads. And our first head-to-head battle, it's going to be science. Any one of you can play this. First round, science.
I think, Steve, you should go for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, Steve, which Egghead would you like to play?
Judith or Daphne?
Or Daphne, which one?
I think Judith.
Judith.
Judith,
Go for
please.
Judith, I think.
OK, it's going to be Steve against Judith. Could I get you into the question room then, please, to make sure you can't confer with your teammates? OK, then, Steve, you've decided to play science. And just to let you know about Judith's record in this, she's one away from putting together a 10-game winning streak, actually, Judith. Won the last 9.
I thought it was going to be bad news.
No, won the last 9.
Usually you read the bad news.
Well, there you are. Just trying to wrong-foot you, Judith. Would you like to go first or second, Steve?
I think I'll go first.
OK, first move to Steve then. Here's your question. How many square inches are there in 1 square foot? 64, 144 or 256?
Well, a foot has got 12 inches. So it's 12 multiplied by 12, which is 144.
144, absolutely right. Good solid start. Judith, what type of creature is a storm petrel? A bird, a toad or a whale?
It's also known as a mother carries chicken, and it's a bird.
Oh, right. OK, yes, a bird, storm petrel. So good starts from both of you. Steve, your second question. A sufferer of celiac disease is unable to tolerate which foodstuff? Lactose, gluten or glucose?
Don't immediately know the answer to that. It sounds like some kind of food allergy type condition. I've never heard of an allergy or condition associated with glucose. I'm going to say gluten.
OK. Gluten. It's correct. Well done, Steve. Well worked out. Breathing a sigh of relief there. Judith, the numbers 6 and 28 are the first 2 in which numerical sequence? Perfect numbers, prime numbers or polynomial numbers?
Well, not prime numbers. I think they're polynomial numbers, whatever they are.
OK. Polynomial numbers, whatever they are. Indeed, whatever they are, because they're not those. They're perfect numbers.
Oh.
So a real chance for you, Steve. This to put you through to the final round. Anticline, syncline, overturned and recumbent are all types of which geological form? Sand dune, rock fold or glacier?
Again, I don't immediately know the answer. I would be surprised if sand dunes had so many different forms, because they're moving around all the time. I'm going to say rockfold.
Okay, anticline, syncline, overturned and recumbent are all types of rockfold. It is correct, Steve. Puts you through to the final round and stops Judith in her tracks, one short of the magic number 10. Okay, would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, as it stands, the Eggheads have lost that one brain from the final round. The Challengers haven't lost one yet, so we'll play another head-to-head now, and it's arts and books. Who'd like to play this? Can't be Steve, but any of you other four.
I think that's down to you.
I'm afraid it's down to me.
Yes.
Okay,
Keep
Paul,
them
arts
from
and
captain.
books. And which Egghead would you like to play? Any one of them apart from Judith?
Who would you prefer?
Well, they're all formidable, unfortunately.
That's why they're the Eggheads.
I think, all right, we'll try Kevin. Go on.
Okay, let's have Paul and Kevin into the question room then. Would you like to go first or second, Paul?
I'll go first, please.
Okay, here's your question then. Good luck, Paul. The Cappuccino Years, published in 1999, is one of the books in a series featuring which character? George Smiley, Robert Langdon, or Adrian Mole?
The Cappuccino Years. Well, George Smiley, wasn't he the character in all those spy novels by John le Carré? Adrian Mole is the Cappuccino Years. I'm thinking it's between Robert Langdon and Adrian Mole. Would a teenager go through Cappuccino Years? I think I'll go with Robert Langdon.
Okay, the Cappuccino Years, Robert Langdon. It's not right. It is Adrian Mole. It was Adrian Mole grew up the Cappuccino Years. So an early slip and an early chance for Kevin to go into the lead then. Turquoise Marilyn and Campbell's Soup Can are works by which artist? Roy Lichtenstein, Andy Warhol, or David Hockney?
Amongst the works of Andy Warhol. Yeah.
Okay, you're saying Andy Warhol. It's correct, Kevin. So that lead established. Paul, to get you off the mark. George Bernard Shaw wrote a play about which 15th century saint? Saint Teresa, Saint Ursula, or Saint Joan?
Saint Joan.
Saint Joan. It's a revival of it at the National Theatre in the summer of 2007. It's the right answer, yes, St. Joan. Okay, Kevin, the forensic anthropologist Temperance Brennan was created by which writer? Patricia Cornwell, Kathy Reichs, or Ruth Rendell?
Yeah, so it was Patricia Cornwell who started off this trend for the female forensic scientist, but it's actually by Kathy Reichs, set in Montreal, I believe.
Temperance Brennan, a creation of Kathy Reichs. It's correct. So you've got to get this one then, Paul. Which composer wrote a symphony nicknamed the Leningrad during World War II? Stravinsky, Shostakovich, or Prokofiev?
I don't think it's Stravinsky, so I'm thinking it's between Shostakovich and Prokofiev. And I'm tempted to go with Shostakovich.
Okay, Shostakovich wrote, you think wrote Leningrad? He did. It's the right answer. But that slip up with the Cappuccino Years gives Kevin the chance to clinch the round. Kevin, who wrote the 1968 science fiction novel Chucky? Is it John Wyndham, Anthony Burgess, or Arthur C. Clarke?
I'm not certain about this one, but I think it's John Wyndham. Yeah, I think it's John Wyndham.
You think? Chucky. It's the right answer, yes. John Wyndham wrote Chucky. It is correct. Kevin, you'll be playing in the final round, and I'm afraid you won't be there, Paul. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, as it stands, all square. Both teams have lost one brain from the final round. We move on now to another category. It's food and drink. Who'd like to play this? Ken, Christine, or Julien? Food and drink.
But
I think it's got to be you,
I
Christine.
think it's going to have to be me, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Go for it. Who do you want
Now.
to play against?
Ooh, that's a...
Yes.
It can't be Kevin or
CJ?
Judith.
Or-
If you want.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Okay, CJ.
Okay, let's have Christine and CJ into the question room, please. Well, Christine, maybe you should have a chessboard in there and you could play a game in between questions with CJ there. It's food and drink. Would you like to go first or second?
I think I'd like to go first, please.
Okay, Christine, here's your question on food and drink. Which drink is sometimes referred to as Adam's Ale? Water, beer, or wine?
Well, I think it would be pure. Much as I'd like it to be beer, I think it's actually water.
Adam's ale is water. It's the right answer. Well done. CJ, which type of food takes its name from the French for twice cooked? Toast, biscuit, or waffle?
I know an answer. Biscuit.
Don't get overexcited there, CJ. Biscuit is correct, yes. Twice cooked. Biscuit. Judith, you're the French speaker. What's
Well, B is
B?
always
Oh, by,
twice.
of course, yes.
Qui is cooked.
There we are. Thank you very much, Judith. Okay, Christine, second question for you. When making mayonnaise, what is added to olive oil and vinegar to stabilise the mix? Single cream, egg yolk, or natural yoghurt?
I think, actually, as I'm allergic to these, I think it's probably egg yolk, because I can't eat mayonnaise. I can eat natural yoghurt, and I can have single cream, so I'd have to say egg yolk.
Well, that unfortunate allergy has stood you in good stead in this round. It's very good, yes, it's the right answer, egg yolk, correct. So, CJ, what is the basis of the Thai dish pad Thai? Is it potato, coconut, or rice noodles?
And here we come to a screeching halt. Not a huge fan of Thai food. I mean, I know which one I'm going to go for, but I'm not sure why.
Well, which one is it going to be then, CJ?
I don't suppose there's any point mucking around here. I'm going to go for potato.
Okay, the basis of pad Thai is rice noodles.
Well, told you I didn't like Thai food.
Rice noodles. Okay, Christine, a chance for you to win it then with this question. Which fish, known as racasse in French, is an essential ingredient of the fish soup bouillabaisse? Is it scorpion fish, puffer fish, or anglerfish?
Oh dear. This is where I wish I knew a bit more French.
Racasse.
I'm not really sure. I think I'm going to have to go. Well, I know I've never heard of scorpion fish. I think I'm going to have to go for puffer fish.
Okay, a racasse, you think is a puffer fish? It's not, it is the scorpion fish. It's a scorpion fish, an essential ingredient in bouillabaisse. So, let's off for CJ to take us into sudden death. CJ, what type of food are the Greek keftades, the Spanish albondiga, and the Swedish köttbullar? Omelettes, chocolate cakes, or meatballs?
I've had vegetarian versions of kefta and albondiga, and they're meatballs.
Thank you for not asking me to say it again. Meatballs is the right answer. Well done, CJ. Vegetarian versions. I thought it might catch you out there being a vegetarian. But no, it means we go, Christine, for the first time in this game to sudden death. We remove the multiple choice element. I've just got to hear an answer from you. So, Christine, this is your question. Pesto is traditionally made using which type of nut?
I ought to know this. I really did ought to know this. It's a very bland nut, white. Why can't I think of the name? I really don't know. I think I'm going to have to say, I know it's not. I'll say peanut, but I don't think it is.
Pesto, you think it's your answer, is it peanut?
Yes.
It's not the right answer, as you know, and you're right, it's white and
Yes.
some may say pretty bland, and you will know it and would have picked it out, I'm sure, if it had been multiple choice. CJ, do you know it could have been your question?
It's the pine nut.
Pine nut,
nut.
Christine, the
Yeah.
pine nut. So a chance for CJ. This is a turnaround, isn't it? Staring defeat in the face. Now you might be going through to the final round. CJ, which seafood is often served in rings and would be listed as calamari on an Italian restaurant menu?
Squid.
It's the right answer, CJ. You have turned it round. You are in the final round. And Christine, I'm afraid you won't be playing for the £32,000 today. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, Camberley Chess Club, I guess this is the equivalent in chess of being, what, a rook down. You've lost 2 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have lost 1. And it means we move on to our last head-to-head. Before the final round, last chance to knock an egghead out. It's sport. Who'd like to play sports?
I think,
Ken or Julian?
Julian.
Sport.
Julian's our
Sport
sporting expert.
Who would you like to take on?
Who are you
What do
on?
think? You want to
Chris.
take Chris? You
I'm
reckon?
going to take on Chris.
Chris, straight off. Julian didn't say a word there. Process. Okay, let's have Julian and Chris into the question room to play this sport round.
Oh, Bulgaria.
Okay, then, Julian, it's sport. Would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go second, please.
Second. Okay, means you're starting then, Chris. Round the clock and killer are traditional variations of which game? Darts, squash or golf?
Well, squash can be a killer. I don't think round the clock or killer would apply to golf, but round the clock certainly suggests a dartboard, so I'll say darts.
Clearly not a darts player, though, Chris.
No.
Round the clock and killer are variations of darts. It's the right answer. Julian, your question. In which decade of the 20th century did the boxer Cassius Clay change his name to Muhammad Ali? Is it the 40s, the 60s or the 80s?
Well, the 1940s would be too early, and I think he might have retired by the 1980s, so I'm going to say the 1960s.
Cassius Clay became Muhammad Ali in the 60s. It's the right answer. Chris, your second question. Which tennis player won her third Australian Open singles title in 2007? Is it Serena Williams, Venus Williams or Justine Henin?
Well, I think both the Williams sisters have won rather more than that. So they've been around quite a long time as well. So how about the third one, Justine Henin?
Okay. Certainly won a lot of Grand Slam titles, Henin, but it's Serena Williams.
Yeah.
She won the Australian Open in 2007, making it her third. So, chance for you to go into the lead then, Julian. Maybe it's going to work, this tactic, putting the egghead in first. Trent Bridge is a cricket ground situated in which UK city? Birmingham, Manchester or Nottingham?
Well, I think the River Trent only flows through Nottingham as those three, so I'm going to say Nottingham.
Okay, doing it on the river. It's the right one, yes. Trent Bridge is in Nottingham. So you've got to get this then, Chris. Chris, on which island was the footballer Cristiano Ronaldo born? Mallorca, Madeira or Malta?
Now, he's Portuguese, isn't he? So the only one of those that's a Portuguese dependency is Madeira. Malta's independent and was British, and Majorca's Spanish, so it's Madeira.
Yeah, okay. Working it out from his nationality, therefore it has to be Madeira. It's correct. So, keeping his hopes alive, but Julian, you can put him out if you get this. In hurling, what is the slither? Is it the ball, the goal, or the stick? I'll spell it for you. It's S-L-I-O-T-A-R.
I've got no idea. I think it's more likely to be an object you would use to hit the ball with rather than the ball itself, so I'm going to go for the stick.
The stick is actually the thing that's being hit. It's the ball. Actually, in hurling, it's quite often the other players as well. But there we go. A let off for Chris. So we go to sudden death. Chris, your sudden death question. Which indoor sport is said to have been played first at Harrow School in the mid-19th century?
They haven't got a version of fives, and that's outdoor anyway. Probably squash. I'll say squash.
We're tormenting you in this round, aren't we? It's the second time you've had squash mentioned. It's the right answer. Well done, Chris. Which means you've got to get this again, Julian. Which footballer famously caught a dog that had run onto the pitch during the 1962 World Cup quarter-final between Brazil and England?
I would think maybe Bobby Moore.
Okay, Bobby Moore. Catch a dog that ran onto the pitch. It's not Bobby Moore, Julian. Any egghead tell me?
No.
Can't remember.
Jimmy Greaves. It was Jimmy Greaves. The dog famously relieved itself apparently on Greavesy, and Garincha, the great Brazilian midfielder, thought it was so funny he apparently adopted the dog, took it home with him. I don't know what he called it. But there we are, Jimmy Greaves, not Bobby Moore, which means, Julian, you're out of the final round. Chris, you'll be there. Would you both please come back and join your teams? So then, this is what we've been playing towards. Time for the final round, which as always is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Paul, Christine and Julien from the Camberley Chess Club and Judith from the Eggheads, would you leave the studio, please? So Ken and Steve, you're playing to win Camberley Chess Club, £32,000. Kevin, CJ, Daphne and Chris, you're playing for something which money can't buy, the Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. The questions are all general knowledge, just to confirm that, and you are allowed to confer Camberley Chess Club. The question is, are your 2 brains better than the Eggheads' 4? And Ken and Steve, do you want to go first or second?
First stood me in good stead the previous time.
It certainly did.
Yes,
okay.
we'll go first.
We'd like to go first, if we may.
Of course you can. First move to you then. It's general knowledge. Here's your question. On the 13th of March 1986, the headline "Freddie Starr ate my hamster" appeared on the front page of which British newspaper? The Guardian, The Sun or the Daily Mail?
Well, that's a very tabloid sort of headline, so I think we can rule out the Guardian straight away. It's definitely one of the red tops. I'd be pretty sure it would be the Sun, but I don't know for sure. Sounds like a Sun type of title.
I think we should go for the Sun. Yeah.
We'll go for the Sun.
The Sun, Freddie Starr ate my hamster. It's the right answer, yes. Right up there with a lot of those other famous Sun headlines of that era. Up yours, Delors, and stick it up your junta. Oh, yes, okay, yeah. Freddie Starr ate my hamster. Okay, Eggheads, your first question. In 1840, what was the price of the world's first official adhesive postage stamp? 1 penny, 1 farthing, 1 shilling. In 1840, what was the price of the world's first official adhesive postage stamp?
That would be 1 penny. Penny black.
1840, the penny black. 1 penny is the right answer. Okay, back to you then, Camberley Chess Club. The word graffiti originated in which modern European language? Italian, Spanish or Greek? The word graffiti originated in which modern European language?
I'd be very surprised if it wasn't Italian.
I don't know, but it's definitely it doesn't sound like a Greek word to me. Graffiti. So it's got an Italian ring to it, I would say. Can we tell anything from the structure of the word?
It rhymes with spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Yeah, well, other Italian words that end like that.
We're going to say Italian.
I heard you there because you think rhyme doesn't actually rhyme with spaghetti, does it? Sort of, I suppose.
Same ending.
Yeah. T. Well, on that basis, it's the right answer. Yes, graffiti. Roots are Italian. So, Eggheads, got to get this to stay level. Businessman Bill Gates dropped out of which Ivy League university? Yale, Harvard, or Princeton?
Well,
that's what I thought he was.
No, fine, but I don't know.
Well,
Oh,
do you-
don't we?
I don't know.
Don't dare.
I don't think he was at Princeton. I don't know. So I'd be more inclined to go for Harvard, but I don't know.
No, that's at the risk of completely making a fool of myself. That was what first occurred to me, but
Well,
Guess what? We don't know.
well,
But
Camberley
with
Chess Club.
An educated guess is Harvard.
Okay. Why an educated guess? At Harvard? Why
because
Harvard?
it's the first thing that came to me.
Right, so a blind guess then.
A
Yes,
blind
yes,
guess.
You
yeah.
felt
Well,
it wasn't Princeton, so it was between Yale and
Yeah.
Harvard,
So
really.
it's probably Princeton.
You know me so well, Kevin. But you know what? It's Harvard. It's the right answer.
Well done.
Bill Gates dropped out of Harvard. So, a wobble there, Camberley Chess Club. Just shows. Let's see if you get this. Put the pressure back on them then. Your third question. Which composer's Fifth Symphony features in the 1971 film version of the Thomas Mann novel Death in Venice? Is it Mozart, Beethoven or Mahler?
I've got a feeling that film was based on the life of Mahler.
Yes, it is.
And he definitely wrote 5 symphonies, at least. I think he may have written 5. So,
The others wrote 5 as well.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you feel very
I'm
confident.
feeling quite confident that it's Mahler.
Mahler featured His Fifth Symphony features in Death in Venice, you think? You think correctly. The right answer, Marla.
Yeah.
Well, it stays like that after this question to the Eggheads. You've won £32,000, Eggheads. After that wobble on the last one, the song Send in the Clowns, which was a hit for Judy Collins, is originally from which Stephen Sondheim musical? A Little Night Music, Merrily We Roll Along, or Follies? The song Send in the Clowns, which was a hit for Judy Collins, is originally from which Stephen Sondheim musical?
At last, we all agree, A Little Night Music. We all
Just looking out for any dissent there, trying to sow the seeds of division there. A Little Night Music is correct, Eggheads. We go to sudden death. And just to remind you, Camberley Chess Club, it gets a lot harder because I can't offer you any choices. This is your question. Which British city is home to the ship the RRS Discovery, which took Captain Scott to the Antarctic? Which British city is home to the ship the RRS Discovery, which took Captain Scott to the Antarctic?
Well, I don't know this, so we're going to have to work through all British cities.
I don't know
Any
it.
idea?
Just trying to think which cities might have a connection with Scott of the Antarctic. I'm afraid that's not leading me anywhere then.
Is it
Hull? I don't really know. I've just got a sort of inkling that.
Plymouth, Southampton? Where did Scott come from? Any ideas?
I've no idea.
No idea
No
where he
idea.
came from. So it probably is his hometown, but I can't tell you.
Let's see.
Plymouth. You like Hull, don't you?
I do for some reason. I don't know what. I don't know why. Okay, I'll go with Plymouth. I really don't know.
Honestly, we don't know.
I've
but
gathered
we've
that.
got to rather have a guess.
You do, and you can have a guess.
If we have to guess, we'll
So,
guess.
I think we'll go for Plymouth.
Is that your answer?
Plymouth.
Yeah, I have to say.
Plymouth, you think the RS
Yes,
Discovery
yes.
is there? And I heard you looking for the links there. Where did Scott come from? It's actually the ship's connection. It's where the ship was built. It's a bit like the Titanic and Belfast. And I can tell you, it's not Plymouth.
Yeah.
It's not Plymouth. I'll just see with the Eggheads because you could have put them in. Eggheads, do you know?
Dundee.
It's Dundee.
Indeed.
So you're the first ones to get one wrong in this round. If the Eggheads get this wrong, though, we continue with the game. But to win it, Eggheads, the appropriate age for marriage is around 18 for girls and 37 for men. There's a quote from The Politics of which Greek philosopher? The appropriate age for marriage is around 18 for girls and 37 for men. Is a quote from The Politics of which Greek philosopher?
Aristotle.
Do they know them? Aristotle is correct, Eggheads. You've won. Well, it took some tough questions to sort out a winner. You are some great players there, I can tell you, as I would have expected there. But the Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them. That winning streak continues. I'm afraid you won't be going home with a £32,000, which means the money rolls over to our next show. Eggheads, congratulations. When will someone beat you? Join us next time to see if the new challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £33,000 now says they don't. Until then, from all of us here, goodbye.
All the